Hello, everyone, and welcome to EngGlowUp, the channel where we turn everyday moments into English learning. I am Flora.
And I am Michael. And today we have a question for you.
What do you do in the first hour after you wake up?
Do you reach for your phone immediately?
Do you make tea or coffee before you do anything else?
Do you exercise, pray, sit in silence, rush straight to work?
Your morning says a lot about your culture, your values, your relationship with time.
And today we are going to compare morning routines from 4 very different cultures around the world.
Japan, Brazil, India, and Norway.
4 countries, 4 completely different approaches to the first hour of the day.
And along the way, we are going to use some very useful English words that help you describe any sequence of events naturally.
Words like first, then, after that, meanwhile, and finally.
These words are called sequence adverbs, and we'll use them naturally throughout today's conversation.
You'll hear them in real sentences so you can see exactly how they work.
No heavy grammar lesson today, just a really interesting conversation about how the world wakes up.
I love this topic, honestly, because I have terrible morning habits, and I'm hoping to learn something today.
Michael, how bad are your mornings really?
We'll get to that, but first, let us go to Japan.
Before we go, please give this episode a like and subscribe to EngGlowUp. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Now, Japan, let's go.
Japan is probably the most famous country in the world for morning discipline.
Discipline, meaning the habit of doing things in an organized and consistent way every single day.
And the Japanese approach to morning is built on one idea: intention.
Intention, doing things on purpose, with focus, with a clear reason.
In Japan, the morning is not something that just happens to you.
It's something you design, you create, you control.
Let me describe a typical morning in a traditional Japanese home, and notice the sequence words I use.
Good idea. Let's pay attention to those.
First, the alarm goes off, but not at 7 or 8. In many Japanese homes, it's 5:30 or 6.
5:30, that's early even by my standards.
Very early, but there's a reason for it. First, the early start is not about rushing. It's about creating space.
Space, meaning time that is not yet filled with obligations or stress.
Then, after the alarm, many Japanese people don't immediately pick up their phone.
No phone?
No phone. First, they wake, then they sit for a moment in silence.
Just sitting.
Just sitting, being aware that a new day has started, not rushing into it.
That already sounds very different from how I wake up.
How do you wake up, Michael?
First, my alarm goes off, then I hit snooze, then it goes off again, then I hit snooze again.
How many times?
3, sometimes 4. And then I panic and rush.
Okay, so the Japanese approach is the opposite of that.
Completely the opposite. Tell me more.
Then, after that quiet moment, many people do a short stretching routine, very gentle, nothing intense.
After that, meaning it comes after something bigger. The quiet moment was significant. The stretch follows it.
Exactly. After that, the real ritual begins for many Japanese people, the morning tea.
Tell us about the tea.
In Japan, making tea is not just making a drink. It's a form of meditation.
Meditation, the practice of being calm and fully present in the moment.
The water is boiled carefully. The temperature matters. Different teas need different temperatures.
That level of attention, even at 6 in the morning.
That level of attention, especially at 6 in the morning, because the morning sets the tone for everything that follows.
Sets the tone, creates the mood and energy for the rest of the day.
And then there's something called radio taiso, radio exercises.
Radio exercises?
A series of gentle movements that Japanese people have been doing together every morning since the 1920s.
The same exercises for over 100 years.
You can still find groups of people, young, old, neighbors, strangers, doing them together in parks at 6 in the morning.
Together, outside, at 6.
Together, outside, at 6. And then they go home and begin their day.
What strikes me most about the Japanese morning is the word you used earlier, intentional.
Nothing is accidental. Every action has a purpose. First, the quiet moment, then the tea, then the exercises, then the day.
Each step prepares you for the next one.
I find that really beautiful and really different from what I do. We established that already.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
But honestly, not everyone in Japan has this perfect morning. The young people in cities, the overworked salarymen.
Salarymen, a Japanese word for office workers who work very long hours.
Their mornings are often rushed and stressful. The traditional rituals are more common in older generations and smaller communities.
So even within Japan, there is a contrast.
Always. Culture is never one thing. It's always many things at the same time.
At the same time, there it is again.
Everywhere. Now, shall we go somewhere warmer?
Please, I need warmth.
Brazil.
Brazil.
Okay, the Brazilian morning. What is it like?
Loud.
Loud?
Wonderfully, gloriously loud and full of people.
Tell me everything.
In Brazil, especially in family homes, the morning is a social event, not a solo activity.
Solo, meaning alone, by yourself.
In Japan, the morning is often quiet and personal. In Brazil, the morning is shared.
How does it start?
First, and almost always, it is the grandmother or the mother who wakes up first.
The keeper of the morning.
The keeper of the morning. I like that. She is in the kitchen before anyone else.
What is she doing?
Making coffee. Brazilian coffee is strong, fresh, and made every single morning. Not instant, never instant.
Never instant. Noted.
Never instant. Then she starts the bread. Pão de queijo, little cheese bread rolls, warm from the oven.
Just the description is making me hungry.
Then the smell of the bread travels through the whole house, and that is the real alarm clock.
The smell of warm bread. That is a beautiful alarm.
Then the family starts appearing one by one, still in their pajamas, still half asleep.
And they go straight to the table?
Straight to the table. In Brazil, breakfast is not something you eat standing at the counter or while checking your phone.
It is a sit-down occasion.
A proper sit-down, everyone at the table together, talking.
What do they talk about?
Everything. The day ahead, what happened yesterday, the weather, a joke someone remembered.
Simple things.
Simple things, but said together at the table over warm food, they become the foundation of the day.
Foundation, the base that everything else is built on.
And what I find really interesting is this. Meanwhile, while the family is eating and talking,
Meanwhile, two things at the same time.
the television is often on in the background, Brazilian morning news or a morning show.
So there's eating, talking, and television all happening simultaneously.
Simultaneously, at exactly the same time, yes. And it does not feel chaotic, it feels alive.
Alive, full of energy and human activity.
And after that, after breakfast, there's something called café da manhã,
Which means
coffee of the morning, a second, quieter coffee usually after the children have left for school.
so the loud social breakfast ends and then a quieter moment follows.
Exactly. The energy shifts, the house becomes calmer, and the adults have a moment before work begins.
That transition is interesting, from social to quiet.
From connection to preparation.
I love that pattern. The morning gives you both.
And how does this compare to your morning, Michael?
I eat breakfast alone, usually at my desk, usually while staring at emails.
At your desk?
I know. The Brazilian grandmother would be very disappointed in me.
She would sit you down at that table immediately.
I would not resist. If someone put warm cheese bread in front of me, I would do anything they asked.
The point is, the Brazilian morning prioritizes human connection before productivity.
Prioritizes, puts first, considers most important.
And the interesting thing is, research consistently shows that people who have calm, connected mornings are more productive during the day.
Not less, more.
Not less, more, because they start the day feeling grounded.
Grounded, stable, calm, connected to what matters.
The Brazilian morning understands something that a lot of work culture forgets.
What's that?
You are a human being before you're a worker.
That's a really important thing to say.
And Brazil builds that into the morning every single day.
Now, where are we going next?
Somewhere even more layered, even more meaningful.
India.
India. India. I feel like this is going to be the most diverse of all our cultures.
It is. India is not one culture. It is hundreds of cultures living within one country.
So, how do we describe an Indian morning without oversimplifying?
We focus on the threads that are common across many regions, the themes that appear again and again.
Threads. Common elements that run through many different situations, like threads in a piece of cloth.
And the strongest thread in the Indian morning across regions, religions, and generations is spirituality.
Spirituality. A connection to something larger than everyday life, a sense of meaning and purpose.
In many Indian homes, the morning does not begin with breakfast or exercise or even coffee.
What does it begin with?
It begins with puja, a morning prayer ritual.
Tell us what that looks like.
First, before eating, before speaking, sometimes even before washing, there's a small altar in the home.
An altar, a special sacred place for prayer and offerings.
First, the family member, often the mother or grandmother, lights a small lamp at the altar.
A lamp before sunrise sometimes?
Before sunrise, yes. The flame of the lamp represents light entering the day.
That is such a beautiful image.
Then incense is lit. The smell of incense in the early morning, it is one of the most distinctive smells in the world.
Distinctive, immediately recognizable, unlike anything else.
Then there are flowers, fresh flowers placed as an offering.
Fresh flowers every morning?
In many households, yes. In South India especially, the morning flower market opens before 5.
Before 5, so that people can buy fresh flowers for their morning puja.
Exactly. And after that, after the prayer, comes the morning bath.
The morning bath is significant in India.
Very significant. In many traditions, bathing in the morning is not just about cleaning the body, it is about purifying the mind.
Purifying, cleaning completely, removing everything that does not belong.
After that, the kitchen becomes the heart of the home.
The smells must be incredible.
Michael, the smells of an Indian kitchen at 6 in the morning are unlike anything you will ever experience.
Describe it for me.
Mustard seeds popping in hot oil, fresh curry leaves, ginger being grated, the smell of filter coffee in the south, a thick dark coffee dripped through a metal filter.
Ugh, I can almost smell it.
In South India, idli and sambar, soft steamed rice cakes with a spiced lentil soup.
For breakfast?
For breakfast? It sounds surprising to some people, but it is one of the healthiest breakfasts in the world.
And in the north?
In the north, paratha, flatbreads cooked in a pan, sometimes stuffed with potato or spiced vegetables.
So the breakfast varies completely depending on the region.
Completely. But the structure is similar. First the prayer, then the bath, after that the kitchen, after that the family meal.
And finally, the day begins.
Finally, after everything else is done, the working day begins, but it begins from a place of spiritual preparation.
I love that phrase, spiritual preparation.
It means I have connected to what matters. I have expressed gratitude. I have nourished my body. Now I am ready.
Now I am ready. What a different feeling that must be compared to rushing out the door with a piece of toast.
Which is what most people in London do.
Which is exactly what I do. Toast in one hand, keys in the other.
No puja, no filter coffee, no flowers.
Just toast and mild panic.
And yet you were still productive.
Somehow, though I suspect I would be more productive with a better morning.
The research suggests yes.
What does the research say?
Studies consistently show that people who have a structured, intentional morning, regardless of the specific rituals, report feeling calmer, more focused, and more productive during the day.
The specific rituals do not matter as much as the structure.
The structure matters. Having a sequence. First this, then that, after that this. It gives the brain a sense of control before the unpredictable day begins.
Unpredictable, not knowing what will happen, full of surprises, not always good ones.
The morning ritual is something you can control, and that feeling of control carries into everything else.
That's genuinely useful to know. I'm going to think about my mornings differently after today.
That's the goal. Now, our final culture, and in some ways the most surprising,
Norway?
Norway, and the Nordic morning philosophy.
I always think of cold and dark when I think of Norway.
And you would not be wrong, but the way they respond to that cold and dark is extraordinary.
Norway in January. The sun does not rise until almost 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning?
10, sometimes later, and people go to work in the dark and come home in the dark.
That sounds very difficult.
You would think so, but the Norwegian approach to this is fascinating.
What is their approach?
There's a Norwegian saying, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing.
That is a very Norwegian thing to say.
It is, and it captures something essential about the Nordic morning philosophy.
Philosophy, a way of thinking about life.
Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, perfect weather, perfect circumstances, you prepare and you go.
You adapt.
You adapt, and that adaptability begins in the morning.
Tell me what a Norwegian morning looks like.
First, and this surprises many people, most Norwegians do not have an elaborate breakfast.
Really? No big family meal?
No, a typical Norwegian breakfast is simple. Open sandwiches, bread with cheese or salmon, a glass of milk or juice, maybe some oats.
Simple and practical.
Simple and practical. Then, after breakfast, something that I find genuinely remarkable.
What?
They go outside.
Outside.
Outside. Even in January. Even in the dark. Even in -10 degrees.
-10?
Many Norwegians go for a walk or a short run before work every morning, regardless of the weather.
That requires a very specific kind of mental strength.
It does. But here's the thing. They don't experience it as difficult. They experience it as essential.
Essential. Absolutely necessary. Cannot be removed.
Fresh air is not optional in Norwegian culture. It's part of the morning. It's part of being healthy and functional.
And after that walk, how do they feel?
Research on cold weather exercise shows remarkable results. Better mood, better focus, better stress management throughout the day.
So the discomfort of going out in the cold actually produces something valuable.
Discomfort serving a purpose, which is actually a very Nordic life principle.
Not avoiding difficulty, but using it.
Using it, turning it into something that makes you stronger.
Meanwhile, and I want to use that word correctly here, meanwhile, most of us are avoiding the cold by staying under our blankets.
Myself included, honestly. I talk about Nordic walks, but I've never done one at 6 in the morning.
You haven't?
No, but knowing about it makes me want to try.
That's actually the most important thing about learning these cultures.
Tell me more.
You don't have to adopt the whole ritual, but understanding how other cultures approach the morning gives you options.
Options, choices you didn't know you had before.
Maybe you try the Japanese quiet moment when you wake up, just 60 seconds of stillness.
Maybe you move breakfast away from your desk and sit at the table like the Brazilians.
Maybe you add a small prayer or moment of gratitude like the Indian morning.
Maybe you put on your coat and go outside for 10 minutes like the Norwegians.
None of these are radical changes.
None of them, but together they could transform how your day begins.
Transform to change something completely into something better.
And finally, because we've arrived at the end of our journey,
Finally, the last word, the last step.
finally, the question is not which culture has the best morning.
Because there is no single best morning.
There's only the morning that works for you, the one that helps you feel ready.
Ready for what?
Ready for whatever the day asks of you.
I think that's the most useful thing we've said today.
First, you wake up. Then you do something intentional. After that, you nourish yourself. Meanwhile, the world outside is also waking up. And finally, you begin.
All 5 sequence adverbs, one complete morning. Any culture, any person.
Exactly.
Let us do our final recap.
We visited Japan, the intentional morning, quiet, structured, every action with a purpose.
We visited Brazil, the social morning, family at the table, connection before productivity.
We visited India, the spiritual morning, prayer, ritual, nourishment of body and soul.
And we visited Norway, the nature morning, simplicity, fresh air, adapting to difficulty.
4 cultures, 4 different answers to the same question. How do I begin the day well?
And the 5 sequence adverbs we use throughout. First, then, after that, meanwhile, finally.
Words that help you tell any story, describe any sequence, explain any routine in clear, natural English.
Now, your homework. And this is a good one.
Tell us about your morning in the comments.
Tell us your country. Tell us what you do in the first hour after you wake up.
Use some of the sequence adverbs from today. First I do this, then I do that. After that, I do this.
And tell us, after hearing about Japan, Brazil, India, and Norway, is there anything you want to change about your morning?
Flora and I read every single comment. We love hearing about your lives and your cultures.
Your morning is just as interesting as any we described today. We mean that.
If this episode helped you, please give it a like and share it with someone who is learning English.
Subscribe to EngGlowUp for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
We are Flora.
And Michael.
And this is EngGlowUp, the channel where we turn everyday moments into English learning.
Good morning, wherever in the world you are waking up today.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.